This lad's discussions meme is Captain America, I command you to. What the fuck? If you wish to send us memes, just so you can get a shout out at the start of these videos, be sure to send them to our Twitter handles. Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the latest episode of Lads Discuss Death Battle. Joined of us is your only mate who's excited about a certain fan art.
Yep, thank you Torok for this drawing of my OC Yen Belladonna.
I like it.
Yeah, it's cute.
Oh, okay.
I like the little name in the background as well. Kind of gives off that Mortal Kombat vibe.
It's cool.
And okay, since you all heard the voices, here's also Sean. Shawnee.
I am still.
You? I've run out of.
I am stuck in Jinx jail, and you still want to make fun of me? Really?
We'll get into more context about that later, people. But of course, you've also probably heard his voice in the background. He's on many of Sean's reactions, and it's been quite a gap since we've last had him on. Fireball.
Yo, how's it going?
To be fair, last time we had Fireball on was when we talked Harley versus Jinx.
Yeah, so just a little bit over a year.
And more than a year ago, yeah.
Yeah, sorry, Fireball. But
Hey, don't worry about it.
But hey, at least you were available to come on.
Yeah.
Why is it the bros are much more better at getting guests than we are?
Because they've been around longer, to be fair.
That's a good point. Okay, so we're going to be talking about the latest episode, which I'm certain our guest is very interested to talk about. The next time, which I am very excited to talk about, mainly for... Actually, I'm kind of excited for both the characters involved. And
Same.
Of course, you all people vote for it for the second topic. Episodes we were too harsh on regarding Death Battle. Because Death Battle's been around for like over 10 years now. There's some episodes we might have been meh or hated, but over time we've matured. Well, I mean, matured on a lad sort of...
We matured mentally, but our humor is still that of a child.
That's
Arts.
That's the best way to sum it up. Before we recorded, mate was even suggesting we get a fart sound effect for our soundboard. So, yeah, our maturity is pretty low. Right then.
Yeah, I am ungodly immature, but at least I admit it.
You rarely ever do, actually.
God damn it!
Yeah. Farts, do it again.
Don't.
Nah.
We're all immature here.
I traded Richard and Joe for these guys. Anyway.
You love us.
Oh, shut the fuck up with the duck!
To be fair, I used it as a censor. Happy?
Listen, till the day we get AG No Such on here, then we can spam the duck soundboard. But anyway, so, latest poll. So we asked people the latest verse comment. Who would win in a drinking contest, the British or America? And 85 of you voted Americans, and 15 for the British.
I'm willing to bet that's just because most of our audience are American. I smell bias.
Welcome to take it. You took a bigger L than you did in our war for independence.
You're not wrong there. This is the second time that Americans kicked our ass. To be fair though, mate, didn't you say there was a British account that got absolutely destroyed by the British voters? And that's what inspired this?
Yeah.
So it's kind of a reversal at this point. Like, I mean, let's be real here. I'm just going to say it, and don't take it the wrong way, people. I guarantee you, 50% of you that vote on these polls are completely biased. I am 100% guaranteeing this.
Let's be real, everyone's biased about something.
Indeed.
Of course, yeah.
So let's get to the comments from our last video from Probuscus. Fun fact about the shot of the Dragonborn reflecting off the Chosen Undead's helmet. Look up the European box art of Dark Souls, which, yeah, I didn't actually know that, and I did look that up after I read that comment. And yeah, it's actually a straight up shot of one of the bosses in the first game reflecting off the Chosen Undead's helmet, which, I won't lie, that box art goes hard.
Liam pulled out every single stop, including he made a stop to Europe when Bill and Mate weren't looking.
Next comment from Ameth Cognac. I'm really sorry, mate, if I got your name wrong. Misaka is one of the most popular characters in Japan and has won the best female character in light novel. For multiple years in the West, people don't know about her more. It's because Japan and the West has very different popularity in anime. That's honestly kind of surprising. I was really flabbergasted to learn that. Wow. Imagine that. She's
That's
one of the
shocking.
best female characters. And funny enough, though, I wouldn't say this is a lad's curse, but me and Sean did play a bit of Blaze Blue Cross Tag Battle. I unintentionally selected Misaka for one of my companions.
Yeah.
So that's how I recognised her sprite. I was like, oh, that was the character I played as. So, I mean, it's a shame we weren't recording that, because that would have been a funny lad's curse to strike again. And from Turok, regarding our poll, who would win a drinking contest, America or Britain? I mean, obviously America wins. Have you seen the people they praise on the internet? Very true. That is very true, Turok.
I will not argue against that.
And from Yang the Insane, Sean, Turok and Reese, hashtag more soundboard. And to that I say, fuck you all.
Oh, come on. You
I
gotta-
say yes.
Yes.
Have we mentioned how much we love Discord for adding this yet?
I could easily mute this and just make you guys sound stupid. But anyway, let's sound stupid in another way. So, Killua versus Misaka. So, before people rip me a new one, yes, I did get Misaka's origin wrong, but in my defense, I literally rushed through season 1 and a few episodes of Deadliest Warrior. Like, I had a small time frame to get things ready, alright? And I blame Mate for introducing this 60 seconds, man. Put more pressure on me.
We could easily stop doing it if you want.
Now I have fun with them.
People like it when we do our 60 seconds as well. Like, it's a good test for ourselves.
However, I do want to brag. Okay, people, yeah, I got wrong. Misaka's not the clone. She was the one that unintentionally started the cloning thing. But, hey, I got everything else right.
Hey, you got something.
It wasn't something, it was everything else.
That's still technically something. I'm not wrong.
Also, for fuck's sake, I just saw Demon just put underneath my latest reaction for this episode. Yet another episode closer to chess versus checkers. That episode's not happening, Demon. Let it go. Let it go.
Hey, listen. Let the demon dream.
Oh my god, man. Watch, that's going to be the season finale, and let's just say I made a deal with him, and I'm going to regret it if it actually becomes a thing. But anyway, so this episode, yeah, it was a good episode. I have very few complaints about it, in all honesty.
I think it was the balanced episode, all things considered. I mean, it's not the best so far this season, mostly because Skyrim vs. Dark Souls exists.
I think if I had to compare all three, I'd say this is in second place.
I agree with that statement.
Yeah, obviously, like,
I think, yeah.
like I said in my reaction as well, like, it's gonna take a lot to top Dragonborn versus Chosen Undead, but I'm not ignorant. Like, you know what? If there's a really good episode, then it's a good episode. But if it can reach that peak as well, then you know, I'll give it credit. Of course,
Got Cole versus Alex.
mate, I'm not too attached to those characters like I was Dragonborn and Chosen Undead, but hey, who knows? Maybe it might interest me. I mean, I'm mostly just rooting to see Alex get destroyed. I do not like the character after I watched Turok's live stream.
Also, I went to go look it up. Killua vs. Misaka. It is now number 6 on the trending page.
Nice.
Wait, seriously?
Yeah, I just took a look.
Nice. Death Battle be trending. Okay, so I guess I'll quickly go through the things I liked and then things I didn't like, and then we'll let all you guys say your beats. Alright, so first of all, Analysis-wise, was pretty funny. You know, Wiz being all nerdy about, you know, just all the science. But there was actually a lot more. I think this is one of the few animes that actually reasonably combines legit science into their powers, which is kind of interesting. Because when you look at something like Dragon Ball, it's like, look, it's key, we don't have to explain shit. Naruto, chakra, I don't have to explain shit. Luffy, I'm a fucking cartoon. It's like, yeah. But this one, there's actually like a lot of science behind. Now, obviously, I'm not a big nerd when it comes to science, but a lot of these things I did look up online, and yeah, it seems like obviously I don't think we'd ever get to a point where we could just finger gun an electric bolt from a coin. Like, obviously you have to suspend your disbelief, but the logic behind it is really interesting to learn. And what else was interesting to learn? These characters. I actually ended up liking these characters a lot more in this analysis.
I can definitely see that. Like, I'll go more into it in my turn, but I think like the analysis, especially for Killua, was handled really well.
Yeah, honestly, the only complaint that I do have for the analysis-wise, and I want to ask you guys this, because I did watch your reactions, but you didn't really say anything about it. Did you guys feel as though Misaka's analysis just kind of got rushed into it?
I think the problem with Misaka's is that there was just a lot to understand, and so much material that they could fit in a certain amount of time. But I can understand where you're coming from with that, yeah.
Yeah, like, Killua had a build-up talking about his world, his family, and then introducing Killua. And then they mentioned the index, and suddenly, Misaka, and it's just like, oh, okay, I guess we're just okay, fair enough. I thought they would have gone in more details about this world, but okay. It just felt a bit rushed, like, oh, we have to get through this as quick as we can. And the other problem I had with it is that, and this is on my rewatch before we started recording, she was kind of nerfed. But at the same time, it seemed as though even when she was, it's kind of like 4 versus Vegeta, even when she's nerfed, it didn't seem like it mattered. Because there was also a bit of contradiction, maybe I'm just looking into it wrong. So I brought up how she's capable of fighting against these godlike characters, and they say in the analysis, oh, she can't, but then they show that she can. So it's like, I don't know, it just seemed a bit weird to me, like, oh,
Well,
I
mean, didn't they emphasize that, like, in raw power, maybe not, but in terms of, like, you know, tactics and being able to, like, make every move count, yeah.
possibly.
I guess so. I think it was just poor worded on their parts, and it just kind of felt like they contradicted themselves a bit. That's honestly my only problem, though. So Misaka's analysis did feel rushed, and I don't know, felt like they kind of nerfed her. But at the same time, though, yeah, I can understand why, though, because oh boy, she was way more OP than I thought.
Yeah. Actually, there is something in Misaka's analysis.
Yeah, trust me, people, that's going to happen a lot.
Honestly, you should expect it more with me, given my obsessions.
Jesus Christ.
So
Yandere alert.
they mentioned this character Hell in her analysis, but they didn't have a picture, and I found out about this through an Index fan posting a reaction on YouTube. The Hell has not been shown ever, and that was actually something they were quite impressed with, that they would bring up a character that's like not been seen before and like bringing up feats and stuff. They just thought that was cool. But did you catch the silhouette?
No, actually.
Yeah, that's a Pokemon character.
Oh, really?
Uh-oh.
Yeah, one of the trial captains in the Sun and Moon games.
Huh.
Okay.
That's
Clever Death Battle editing team.
interesting. I'm just going to put on Do Not Disturb, so I don't want the Discord sound effect to be going all across the background.
Oh yeah, good idea.
We already have an
and-
annoying soundboard. We don't need that too.
Oh, and speaking of references to do with Pokemon, when they brought up the Misaka's like Pokemon but an anime girl, and they showed the Pokken footage, people pointed this out when the preview came out. the username for the Sceptile player, it translates to Groval versus Lucina fan. Or Lucina versus Groval fan. Because that was Jukum, one of the researchers who captured that footage, and they like that matchup.
Foreshadowing, maybe?
To be fair, this was Jukum's first research job for a death battle.
Can we actually
Look,
find... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
if Lucina gets in Death Battle, I hope she wins, and from what I've heard, she does not with that matchup, and that makes me sad. But, what are you gonna do?
Yeah, also, can we also just acknowledge the fact that, you know what, the editors behind this episode must have heard the criticisms from all the fans and reactors. They've slowed down the sidebars.
And added the color back to the plus and minus symbols.
Yeah, oh, for fuck's sake, man. Stop with the soundboard!
Okay.
It was warranted.
I will send you all to Jesus. So, anyway, I've said my piece about the analysis, so, mate, have you said your piece?
More or less.
Alright then. Sean and Fireball, do you want, especially Fireball, I imagine you have a lot to say about this episode, so
Okay, Sorry, I misheard you. I thought you said Bible. And I'm like, wait, what the fuck? What?
My Jesus!
Oh,
Hey, wait, hold on. I can change people's nicknames in my Discord. I am now gonna name Fireball Bible.
all it takes is one
Aw,
mishearing, and then you've got a name for life. Right then, so, yeah, so what did you guys think about this?
I did it.
Yep. I mean, I can't see it from my perspective, so you're gonna have to screenshot that and put it, send it to me so I can add it in.
I can't see it either.
Give me a second.
Anyway,
Go on.
Okay, I tell us, while Sean's having fun with that, Fireball, because apparently you're a big Kilowatt fan, so how did you think they treated your boy?
Hey, I think they treated him very well. I liked how his analysis began, ended, and even in the middle. They did a really good job with the editing. Everything about the analysis was really good on Kilowatt's part.
Yeah, that's good to hear.
Okay, any highlights from you guys? Any, like, funny moments?
I honestly like all the Kilowatt puns. Like, I know it gets
yeah.
annoying for some people, but I'm just like, look, it gets a laugh out of me.
Okay, that's kind of funny, considering the fact you were getting sick of that Queen shit from Korra vs. Storm, yet you are completely okay with this.
Hey, at least in this episode, it's said in both analysis, not just one.
And that,
I guess.
what? I don't get what does that mean? Okay, whatever. Alright.
Zooming on it.
The way mate said that with such confidence, we're just all like, what? What does that matter?
I think honestly though, they did a good job with Kilowatt's story overall, and painted a picture of like what eventually he turned into and like what he was throughout the series. Honestly, this is one of the best analyses that I've seen so far. For Kilowatt. Well, this season, so far this season.
Yeah, that's why I'm going to about. I mean, did you not forget about the cheese will calculation last episode?
That's why I said one of the best, not the best, one of the best.
Okay then, my mistake. That's fair enough.
I think with Misaka's, it was done pretty nice. I think the major thing is that there was just it felt like Ant-Man's analysis for me, where my brain hurt trying to process everything. I don't know what's more complicated, the science behind a certain magical index or the science behind Nen. Answer, yes.
Indeed, yeah.
I just love boomsticks. It's key. It's always key.
Yep.
Yeah, this whole analysis felt very like focused on Wiz, and it felt nice.
Hey, after Ant-Man vs. Atom, he finally got to, show more passion towards science, and then Boomstick is just a dick.
Yeah.
I mean, they're both dicks, really. I mean, one of them
True.
wants world domination, the other one just wants a beer.
Yeah. Also, can we agree? One of the best Commander set screens in a while.
That was a funny screen.
It was good, yeah.
This is everyone reacting to the next time, to be fair.
That is also true.
Honestly, though, I think overall it was great. It's just that with a certain magical index, it's a lot to process. And there was a lot to go through. But you know what? Credit to where credit was due. Good job to both Jukum and Speedy for this one.
Yeah, I will admit, I guess it was kind of my error watching the magical one and not the railgun one, because in all my comments, people were telling me, no, don't watch this one, you should watch Railgun, and Accelerator, I think was another one. It's like, these are the better ones to watch, whereas the other one was cringe. I will say, though, it did bring, despite the first season of that show being a bit cringe, especially with some questionable dialogue, it did give birth to that really funny, it's my right hand's fault meme. To me,
You love that joke now.
you could use that for so many stuff out of context, man. Look. You could use that for so much.
All the jokes at your disposal with your right hand.
When you want to go out and get a girlfriend, this right hand is to blame again. Come on. Sure, I did have to...
2-in-1 meme? It was me, Barry. It was my right hand that did it.
God. Fucking damn it.
He just blames his right hand. After he was done jerking him off, he was like, God damn it, why did I do that?
It was my right hand, Barry.
Oh no.
I couldn't stop it.
Oh no, when Batman's father killed Reverse Flash, the hand starts talking like a puppet. You thought it was the Reverse Flash. It was me, Barry.
So it'd be like that, the thing with Cartman in South Park.
I guess so. That was a weird episode. I mean, South Park, really.
I was about to say.
Yeah. I got nothing else to add to the analysis. I think it was done pretty well.
Alright then, so let's get on with the fight. And, shockingly, pretty fucking good fight.
Yes. Origin did such a good job with these sprites.
Oh my god, the fact as well, sure, they were sprites and they were ripped from other games, but you know what? I think they've really stepped up their game with, their puppeteering lately.
Oh, definitely.
Indeed.
I even said in my reaction, it really did feel like I was actually just watching one of the animes. Sure, it's more pixelated, but it was really well done. Again, though, the major complaint I've seen from people, it is a bit short, which I do agree. But with everything,
technically the shortest one of the season, I think.
But I think they made up for it for not only some really good backdrops, some good effects mixed into it. Because a thing that I always noticed with even some episodes in season 9, sometimes the sprites didn't blend well with some of the effects. Some of them were really good, but some of them can honestly just feel like, they clearly just got out of a new gen or something like that. But they really went all out to make sure not only do the sprites match each other, but also the effects on each character. And again, a thing I have to commemorate is the eye expressions, just moments you wouldn't really think about because everything's going fast. The fact Misaka and Killua are both following each other right down to their pupils are following their opponents. It's they didn't need to go that hard with the amount of detail in the fight, but they did, and I appreciate that.
I saw this on Twitter from Assassinite, one of the animators. Assassinite actually worked on, I believe, a third of this animation they said in their tweet, which was the most they've done since John versus Saberwolf. And I think it was mostly that sequence with them on their hovering and skateboard fight sequence, as well as the yo-yo scene. That was all done by Assassinite.
God, that was such a good shot. I can tell that took a lot of work to do.
I won't lie, when we get to that part and Yeah, there's that bit in the music for it. It just reminds me of the Sonic levels where you just like grind on like a surfboard or just like piece of wood through City Escape. Like it sounds like it'd fit in that scenario.
Yes, you think they would use a piece of wood, but no, they were like, let's give Misaka, instead of like an iron sand cloud, a giant piece of rubble.
Also, I guess we might as well move on to that part. Okay, so a few highlights for me. One, Misako immediately able to identify that Killua was using his tactic, kind of throwing that whole like, can Killua get in close with his like trickstery stuff? And no. And I also like the fact as well they do emphasize, yeah, up close, Misaka is not good against Killua, so she had to focus on keeping him at a distance. And I did like that, so it really just depends on can Killua get in close to do that final blow. But here's the thing I was kind of worried about, because a majority of the time Misaka was at a distance, I'm like, oh, is it just going to be that thing where either the opponent's going to not take any hits at all, but the other one is? But one thing I really like, I liked how neither got an upper hand on one another until the final few seconds. Like, Killua was able to land that one punch, and then Misaka managed to land a hit, and then it just came down to their final, like, ultimate attacks, and also their kaijus, which I actually forgot to bring out the fact that she could create a kaiju. Oops.
Speaking of, I don't think they brought Killua's up.
No, they did.
I mean, they did the giant snake.
Yeah, I mean, it's literally just a cool effect to be in the background in his fights.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like, it's not like a snake that also fights next to him or anything like that. It's just, hey, check out this cool shot. That was a cool shot. Right then, on to the next fight.
Oh, okay.
And speaking of cool shots, man, the kaiju just rising up and, like, okay, the amount of detail they put, like, the hand wrapping around the building just to fully stand up. And Misaka casually, like, I don't care what people say, like, she killed some people in that building and whoever got hit by that rubble.
Oh, absolutely.
All for a fucking coin.
Oh, I know I'm jumping ahead a little bit, but the shot after the kill, I'm with Torok. That scene is just, like, terrifying.
Yeah, I was getting some Yandere vibes.
Just on the ground with blood raining on her and just giggles. It's like,
I can name a scene
that's
that
not
is more
creepy.
terrifying than that, honestly.
Yeah, should we actually get to the death? Assuming that's what Sean was moving on to next, or were you going to mention something else?
I mean, spoiler warning, she wins.
Yeah. Now
I would hope they would have watched this podcast after watching the episode. Imagine being that person that's like, I'm gonna check out a Death Battle podcast, but not watching the actual episode. God damn it, you folks spoiled me.
yeah, because you're stupid.
Oh Jesus.
Mate coming out with a roast.
Yeah, this so far this season, mate is just making. No, it's Sean's making fun of the Zoomers, and mate's just making fun of people's intelligence. And then there's me.
To be fair, I also mock my own.
It balances it out.
Also, that's just common fucking sense.
Yeah, that just reminds me of this old meme. So I can't be racist. I also hate myself. that's basically mate.
No. That reminds me of this news article I saw. Like, you know what? I might just go into it afterwards.
All right. Okay, so let's actually talk about the kill. And I will admit,
Ouch!
yeah, that first of all, that is brutal. I do love that. I think, is it on par with Ant-Man vs. Atom? Not quite, but definitely second favorite so far. For brutality wise. Now, I will say, the fake out, I will admit, I didn't really fall for it because I knew that, yeah, that was a decoy, wasn't it? They wouldn't just abruptly kill her like that. But the fact they managed to get a lot of people.
Forgot that you could do that.
Yeah, they mentioned the analysis. I'm surprised they didn't mention more details about it, but yeah, you know, I guess it was a nice way to like say it, but not go too detailed. So I think if they did spend time talking about it, it might have made it obvious for the faker. Because even though I didn't get fooled by it, everyone else did, and that makes me happy.
And that was
Do
a
that
really
a
good
lot.
fake out. Yeah. It was a good fake out, and then like Misaka just doing calculations just waiting for the perfect time to shoot. It's like skeet shooting, essentially, where it's just like pull, bam.
Yeah, I really liked it, and it did emphasize that. But it makes me also wonder: did she just do a Sun Wukong, and she just spent the majority of this fight in the background? Because,
Dun, dun, dun.
because when you look at the shot, when let me just fast forward to it. Yeah, she's literally in the spot where they started the fight. So it's like this whole time she just had her decoy out. I don't think that is the case. I think it could just be either just animation limitations, because we already have that background, so let's just use it again here.
It could have been like maybe after Killua landed that punch to her face. Like when the kaiju came out, that Misaka was a fake. But the whole time.
My final sound is before we talk about the end of it. Speaking of, you know how I mentioned the pupil little add-ons to make it feel like more fluid and more animated? Yeah, they didn't have to go into detail where you see his pupils fade out of his eyes when his head is just floating there. It's like, wow, really wanted to emphasize he's dead. I mean, granted, the man's in a million pieces, but still, just he was alive for those few seconds. Like it's like fucking hell, man.
It's one of those blink and you'll miss the details, like in Vegeta versus Thor, you know?
Yeah, it's ugh.
Or Deku versus Asta, maybe.
Yeah, it's just ugh, man. Just looking at it again, it's just like, god damn it. And I kind of see what Mate is saying now. Yeah, that scene where she is laughing after catching her coin is pretty Yandere-like.
I don't know what's creepier, that or the ending of Venom versus Krona, though.
Was that ending really creepy? I never found it creepy.
That fucking smile Krona does?
Okay, I see you, and I raise you. Joker versus Sweet Tooth.
That is true.
That wasn't creepy at all. It was
I
just...
wasn't.
Okay, what the fuck are you talking? Yeah, I'll go into more details, right? Because funny enough, that might come up on our third topic. Yeah, I've got nothing to say. Overall, really good episode. So far, I would rank it my second favourite of the three. Of course, it really depends on the rest of the season, but I'm sorry to say, Ant-Man and Atom, you're just getting really shafted by all these other good episodes.
That's fair, and I agree with Joe. Second best episode this season.
I mean, to be fair, that does happen with premieres sometimes.
No, most of the time, premieres are usually like held up as like, these are really good.
I mean, take our ranking from last year. Look how high Harley versus Jinx got.
I said sometimes, not all the time.
Plus, Mars vs. Static was still considered really good. Dante versus Bayonetta. He-Man versus Lion-O. Like, most of the time, premieres are held as like really good. That was one of my criticisms for Ant-Man vs. Ant-Man. It just didn't feel like a premiere. In fact, I dare say this could also be an episode that would have been a better premiere, to be honest. It was short, but the
Aaron?
I mean, for season 1, it was good, but obviously today's standards, it's like, yeah, it's. I'm just gonna say, a crossover clash that I used to do years ago is way better than that episode.
Overall, I think it was good. And like even the lead up to it, like I saw a lot of people check out Hunter x Hunter, and people actually really got into Hunter x Hunter. You know, Proboscis, Z-Dog, they enjoyed it.
I might even check it out myself, because that's actually one of the other things that's put this episode higher up for me, is that it introduced me to 2 characters I'm not familiar with, and I like them. I like episodes of Death Battle where I don't know the characters, because it's like, oh, I get to learn something new. And then, now I want to watch it. Maybe when I get time, who knows, maybe after this season, Hunter x Hunter and Railgun are going to be on my list. They look really good. So
something I gotta.
Oh yeah, sure,
I gotta say about the animation. Not really the animation. It's just the voice acting for Misaka was really good. And for the preview, Killua's voice felt off, in my opinion.
I wasn't a fan of the voices, really.
But during the actual episode, Killua's voice, I got used to it a bit there.
I can definitely understand that. I also do think, real quick, the soundtrack in the background was a banger.
Oh my god, it's so good. In fact, I got copyright for it in my reaction, but you know what? Have my 2 pence from my video, YouTuber. Because you know what?
Here's what's funny. It is called Change of Heart, by the way.
Oh.
Yes, it's named after another Yu-Gi-Oh card. Another Yu-Gi-Oh reference? Coincidence? I think not.
Yeah, I think they're kind of setting that we are getting a Yu-Gi-Oh fight this year.
Ash versus Yugi, let's go.
Oh, no,
Let's
no,
fucking
oh,
go.
no.
Wait, what do you mean no?
No. No,
Fireball
no.
has
Like
its
in terms
own
of like,
reason-
in terms of Yu-Gi-Oh fights, that is like the one.
Yeah,
Fireball
I get
has
it.
Go ahead.
I get the idea of it. I was once once all for that death battle, but after thinking about it more and more, just more problems came up with it for me. So I want to get more in depth into why I don't want this death battle to happen in future video.
Fair enough. I mean, it seems like it's an episode that's gonna happen. Like, it's the most thematic. It also has the rivalry, Pokemon versus Yu-Gi-Oh.
Plus,
Yeah,
with Ash's story finally being over, like
Yeah.
this year's kind of a perfect time.
Right.
It just makes so much sense. But that's a fight for another day.
Again, Beowulf killed it on the track. I really like it.
Yeah, I've listened to it a few times. It is really good. Like, you'll even see my reaction. I even begin headbanging to it. It's like, you know what? This track is banging. And if the death battle has a theme to it where I'm literally headbanging to the theme in the background, you've won. Even like, as much as I did like the Fireborn one, it was good, but obviously I was more focused on the fight than the music. Obviously listen to it behind, when not watching the fight. I still think Fireborn's a really good soundtrack, but this one definitely in second place. I think they've really stepped up their music for this season as well. I mean, minus Ant-Man versus Atom.
Yeah. Still, phenomenal job all around with this episode. Really
Yeah.
solid.
I mean, in terms of music, I have high hopes for the next one.
I'm kind of curious of what type of music they're going to do for that one, but is that a good segue to move on to the next time, guys, or do you have anything more to say for this killing matchup?
I think I'm ready to talk about this next time because I am really excited about it.